Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us for the first ever middle school, high school band concert. March is recognized as Music in Our Schools Month, an initiative led by the National Association for Music Education to celebrate the vital role that music plays in education and in our lives. Music education is about far more than notes and rhythms. It helps students develop creativity, discipline, collaboration, and confidence. Through music, students learn to listen deeply, express themselves, and connect with others in meaningful ways. These are skills that extend far beyond the classroom and last a lifetime. Tonight's performance is a reflection of that growth and dedication. Each student on this stage has spent countless hours practicing, refining, and working together to create something meaningful. Thank you for supporting music in our schools and for being part of this celebration. Now, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the performance.
Good evening. Thank you for being here again. My name is Brandon Ace. I'm the band director here at the middle school. We're super excited to play for you folks tonight. That first piece, Olympia, was written in kind of the image the spirit of Olympia, my apologies, the birthplace of the Olympic Games. Felt with the Winter Games having just concluded, that was kind of an appropriate piece to tackle for our first one on this concert. Our next piece, The Tempest, actually the composer has had no inspiration for other than he just wanted to create a work where you could work on music and skills and those kinds of things. Robert W. Smith is a kind of a giant in the band world. He writes a ton of great music that band kids love kind of digging into. It's got all kind of the things that you get in a band to do and whatnot, and we think you'll enjoy that. Before we get to that, I do have a few folks who I wanted to recognize. These 7 individuals were selected to participate in the York County Middle School Honor Band. That essentially entails that they are preparing music outside of here, a whole concert's worth of music outside of here. And they'll gather together for 3 rehearsals and then have a concert at the conclusion of those 3 rehearsals. So our first rehearsal is coming up at the end of this week, and the concert will be next Saturday, March 28th, at Eastern York High School. But anyway, the 7 individuals were selected based on the work that they do in our day-to-day. It's kind of a fantasy football draft, but for band, and we all get together and throw names in the ring. So I wanted to take a moment to recognize these individuals. I'll have them stand up and then we can applaud for them at the end. Jack Jones, Natalie King, Calvin Mitchell, Sydney Quick, Julian Redding, Briella Sorkin, and Eleanor Thomas. Finally, at the conclusion of this part, we will reset the stage, get the high school band out here, and then we'll finish things up at the end of the evening with the combined group. We're really looking forward to putting that on. Real quick, my apologies. I put the wrong last name down, and I am really sorry to this individual because in addition to agreeing to take on the role of joining the honors band, she also learned a new instrument in the process to do it, and that would be Eleanor Uchef. Eleanor, can you stand up? My apologies. All right, give us a few minutes, we'll get the stage reset, we'll get the high school band out here. Thank you.
Welcome everybody, welcome to a wonderful evening of music. My name is Brad Bessler and I'm the Vice President of the York Suburban Boosters Association. These young men and women have found a home in music, provides a sense of accomplishment, belonging, personal growth, and lifelong friendships. As you may know, our students also enjoy some incredible adventures along the way. From performing amazing shows to participating in educational trips to places like Orlando, Nashville, and Pittsburgh, and even spending quality time together at organized meals and banquets. None of these memorable events and opportunities would be possible without our incredible parent volunteers. Volunteering with the York Suburban Music Boosters Association requires only a minimum time of commitment and offers a wonderful opportunity to meet other music parents and students. Most importantly though, it's a chance to truly enrich your child's music experience. We invite you to consider joining our amazing team of volunteers. If you're interested, there's a sign-up sheet out in the lobby, you probably saw it, where you can capture your contact information. Thank you so much for your time and support, and get ready for another portion of wonderful music. Thank you all.
Officer. I'm the trombonist for this brass quintet. I also co-run it with Egan Torres, our first trumpet. So that first piece we played is called Die Bankelsänger Lieder, which is quite the mouthful, and translates from German to the beach singing songs. And that's exactly what it is. It was a group of singers who would go and sing. No one actually knows who wrote the pieces, which is why they're listed as anonymous, although a lot of credits have been given to one man. I believe his name is like Daniel something. And that song is really just a good time. It's just all about like different articulations. There's very different dynamics, which is always a struggle in a group that's this small to make that much of a difference in the dynamics. Our next piece is Elsa's Procession to the Cathedral from Lochherein, which is a German opera by Wagner. This piece is all about like the anguish of Elsa is trying to decide to go to the cathedral or not to marry this knight who's just saved her life, but she doesn't know if she actually loves him. So it's this noble procession throughout the whole piece, but then there's, towards the end and throughout the whole piece, there's this full tension of whether or not she's making the right decision. And you'll especially hear that come to fruition, where we as a brass quintet will play the loudest we've ever played. Enjoy.
Thank you for your patience. We're going to be doing a lot of that tonight, shifting stands and chairs and stuff, especially when we get to the end of the program with our combined number. But good evening again, welcome. My name is Matt Hustler, and I'm the high school band director. It's really a pleasure to be here, and it's a wonderful event that Mr. Nace and I came together and thought about, combining our 7th and 8th grade and our high school band for just a wonderful evening of music, and we would truly appreciate everybody being here. The high school band behind me has 3 selections to perform. I'll speak a little bit about the others coming up, and then we won't close the curtain, but we'll be resetting the rows for a mass combined band for our final selection of Byzantine dances, which we hope you do enjoy. So the first number that the high school band will be performing is called A Festival Prelude. Thank you. Again, that was Festival Prelude, a staple piece in the wind band literature, and was written in 1956 by Alfred Reed. For our second selection is titled A Celtic Celebration. The piece is based entirely on original material, and it pays homage to the rich history of folk music in Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. The opening of the piece is set as a slow air, or a song, which mimics the rhythmically free, slow singing style. The celebration takes the form of an Irish jig. The piece was actually commissioned by the East Stroudsburg Area High School here in Pennsylvania. Hopefully you enjoy A Celtic Celebration. We have one more to do before our combined number. This next selection is titled Choose Joy. The piece was commissioned in honor of a student in Texas in a middle school band who became very ill with an aggressive form of brain cancer. Her family created a motto that they used to navigate the difficult time: choose joy. The piece uses elements of Beethoven's Ode to Joy, along with a 5-note motive representing her 5 family members. There are moments of happiness, humor, worry, pain, and determination. I hope this work serves as a fitting tribute to all those who choose joy in times of darkness. 7th and 8th grade families, this is what your child has to look forward to. This group is wonderful to work with. They are fantastic musicians. They do make my job easy most times, most days. Hopefully your 7th and 8th grade child wants to continue playing and come up here and play with these fine musicians. They're just fantastic. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise this is going to sound better than it's going to look. We're going to dismiss most of these students behind me. Mr. Nace and I, with some help, are going to reset the stage. We can't close the curtain. It's going to be very informal. Bear with us. But the product at the end, when we play Byzantine dances, is going to be tremendous. So bear with us. It'll look worse than it will sound for sure. We'll be back with you as soon as we can. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your 7 through 12 York Suburban Concert Band. So our final selection this evening is titled Byzantine Dances. The groups have worked really hard to put this together and really only came together at 6 o'clock this evening to run through it a couple of times. But it's an honor to conduct this band and have everybody up here collaborating, working together, making music together. This was a very fun concert to put on. We appreciate your patience through all the transitions, but it is, to you, to myself, to Mr. Nace, and the students, it's going to be well worth the wait, and we appreciate your flexibility, their flexibility, and we wish everyone a wonderful evening after we finish Byzantine dances.